The YouTube Huddle Up is my weekly live stream show that I do on this channel every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And in this video, I want to walk you through behind the scenes of how I run the live stream in case you're thinking about going live on your channel or if you're looking for some inspo for your own streams. I'll be showing you the production side of things, all the gear and tools I use, and how I prep for each show. So with that said, let's get into it. So now I'm going to walk you through all the gear that I use. And if you want more info on any of the things I talk about, you can check out the links in the description below. Okay, so this is what the setup looks like from where I'm sitting. Camera and prompter are right in front of me. And then I have a 2-monitor situation. This is the Canon EOS R. It is on an Amazon Basics tripod. It is getting power. Right now it's a plugged in power, so that I can leave it on for hours and hours. Obviously I have the Elgato prompter on it. I have it connected to my Mac Mini through an Elgato cam link, which is somewhere in there. This is the Shure MV7. I got it customized with the cool color on colorware.com, but it is being held by the Elgato low profile arm right here. And the microphone plugs into the Vocaster 2 audio interface, which then plugs into my Mac Mini. And then all of that goes into the program that I use to run everything, which is Ecamm Live. Ecamm Live is probably the program that I could not live without. It is how I do all of my live streams, record all of my videos, do any kind of Zoom meeting or anything that has to do with the camera. I run everything through Ecamm Live. So here's what it looks like when I'm streaming. On this monitor, I have the scoreboard, and then that I can set up a scene where I screen share, and it has me in the corner. This box right here is the comment box. So this is where I take everybody's screenshots, and then obviously the screenshots populate on my desktop, and then I just add those into the Google Sheet. And then on this monitor, I have all the menu options for Ecamm. This is my Elgato Stream Deck, and I have a YouTube Huddle Up one specifically, which really only has my scenes that I switch between. I have 4 scenes, so I have the countdown, the default shot, which is just me doing a talking head, the scoreboard shot, which actually shows me and the scoreboard, and then the outro countdown. I switch between this shot and the scoreboard shot often throughout the YouTube Huddle Up. So I could be doing the intro and then the goals and wins are coming in. So I would switch to the scoreboard just with a push of the button on the Stream Deck. I would copy and paste the goals or the wins into the sheet, and then I'd switch back to continue talking onto this scene. And in terms of the flow of the show, usually I save the first half hour to focus on getting everyone's wins and goals and stickers assigned and copied and pasted to the sheet and all of that. And then for the second half of the show, sometimes I'll have specific things that I want to talk about or bring to people's attention or to have a discussion about, or we'll do a Q&A, or we'll do channel reviews. It kind of just depends week to week. And the last tool that I use to help me run the YouTube Huddle Up is Canva. And Canva is a program that I use and have been using, oh my gosh, since day one of doing YouTube. It's what I use to make all of my overlays. So here's the starting countdown. So that whole thing I made in Canva, and then here's my outro screen. It's very similar to the intro screen. And Canva has a surprising number of really cool stream-specific overlays. These are some of the ones that I was kind of brainstorming between when I was trying to update the YouTube Huddle Up. Now let's talk about the scoreboard. The scoreboard is a big part of the YouTube Huddle Up. It really is the foundation of the community because this is where the accountability comes in. So the way that it works is that during the YouTube Huddle Up live stream, everyone shares 2 things. They share their win that they worked on in the previous week, and then the goal that they're going to be working on in the upcoming week. So as you can see here, these are the goals that everyone left during the last live stream. And then I'm going to create a new sheet for the next stream, which will also include the wins that people worked on since the last stream. One thing that is really important to me for the YouTube Huddle Up scoreboard is that everyone gets to set their own goals. I think when it comes to content creation, there's anything and everything that you could be working on. People can tell you to be working on this or working on that or staying consistent or, getting new gear or whatever it is. But I think that you know what you need to work on better than anybody else. So the focus of the YouTube Huddle Up is putting in the reps, staying consistent, doing all of these little things that contribute to the overall growth of your YouTube channel. Now, the thing with the goals that go on the scoreboard is they have to be SMART goals, which means that they are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. So that means that you can't set a goal that is not 100% in your control. It's not in your control to be able to get 1,000 subscribers overnight, but you can make a video, you can make a short, you can update your thumbnails, you can change your channel banner, you can do an Instagram post, you can send out an email newsletter. The other cool thing about the scoreboard is that everyone's channel is right here. So you can just go to this scoreboard link. It's bit.ly/YouTube Huddle Up 2024. And you would open this Google Sheet and then you can click right here to check out everyone's channel. So what's really cool is that you can see what everyone is working on. For example, Introvert Amateur is going to record and edit a video. So boom, we can go here, click on his channel and see exactly what video it is that he's going to be posting. And then of course there's the stickers. Every time somebody shares a win, they get a sticker for that week. Presumably your sticker is going to be you accomplishing the goal that you set out the previous week. But of course, things change. We're pretty flexible. If you say that your goal is to make a video for the following week, but you instead update your channel banner, that's okay. Progress is progress, and we want to celebrate that. But it's up to you to use the accountability that is offered at the YouTube Huddle Up however you want. But we do encourage and celebrate progress, no matter how small. And then every 12 weeks, you could see these pink boxes here. Every 12 weeks, we do a quarterly review to kind of zoom out and look at the big picture. Every week, we're looking at the micro things that we're doing, but sometimes it's nice to zoom out a little bit and see what we're doing on a bigger scale. So every 12 weeks, we take the chance to do that. And what we do is I count everybody's stickers that they've gotten in that 12-week period, and each sticker is entered into a raffle, and then we give out stuff during the 12-week celebration. So this is not why people do it, but it's just an added incentive. It's an added encouragement. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of how I do this. Just to keep it a little bit cleaner, people can come and go from the scoreboard at any time. I never want to delete anybody, because if you need to take time off or priority shifted or life's happening, whatever, that's fine. I just add a Z to your name so you get pushed down to the bottom, just so that we can keep things clear up here. If you are new to the YouTube Huddle Up scoreboard, you get a sticker for that day. So for example, here, Bin Buster is relatively new. They joined on July 31st. So it's like blank all the way up until the first sticker. And then for each week, it basically looks like this. So there's goals on the left. This is what you're going to be working on in the following week. And then there's wins on the right. This is the progress that you made in the previous week. So if we go to the last stream, which is August 21st, here are the goals that everyone made the week before. And then here are the wins that people were sharing that week. So for example, for me, my goal was to upload a long form video. And then the following week, I said, I made a long form video. Yay! And as you can see, these are all screenshots that I took either from YouTube, or what you mostly see here is the comment box that's in Ecamm. So during the live stream, the comments will pop up in Ecamm, and I will take a screenshot of every single person's win and goal. This is really important to me because it is ownership. It's you putting your goal and your win in your own words. It's got your picture, it's got your channel name, to me, that's really important when it comes to ownership. Again, the cool thing about this sheet is that it is publicly available and we have saved everything. So you can go back all the way to February 21st if you want and see what you were working on back then, and then go all the way 6 months later to see what you're working on now. It's just another way that everyone can see their progress and also celebrate other people's progress. I guess the only formula is this one. This is count A, which basically counts any cell that has a value between parameters, right? So here, I'll use me as an example. So it's going to count any cell between D3, which is the very first one, and AH3, which is all the way over here. Oh, so I'm actually giving myself an extra sticker. My bad. But it's going to count every cell in between to give me a tally of everyone's stickers. Now, in terms of prep, there really isn't that much to it, except that I have to update the scoreboard for the current week. And then I have to schedule the live stream, which I really try to make it a point to schedule the day before. Here's YouTube. I just hit go live. And because YouTube Huddle Up is something we do every week, it's going to show me the previous settings of last week's YouTube Huddle Up, which I'm going to reuse. Sometimes I change the title, but it really is just kind of, it's the same thing. Everyone knows what it is. So let's do share your wins and goals. I like emojis because it adds color. Let's do the 100. All right, cool. Description's already there. The description has the link to the scoreboard, which I'm going to copy because I always add that as a pinned comment. Scroll, scroll, scroll. All of this, I kind of just keep the same customization, all the same. Okay, so here's the date. We're going to schedule it for Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Boom, done. And then pin the comment. That way, if anyone checks between now and the stream, they can check out the scoreboard by clicking on this link. Now I want to talk a little bit about the philosophy for why I do the YouTube Huddle Up. And first and foremost, it is for me. And basically, I wanted to create the experience that I wanted to be a part of. And the YouTube Huddle Up is something that I genuinely look forward to every single week. It really is based on my experience of having been a YouTube creator for 8 years. There was no one to share, hey, I got, this Stream Deck. What the heck is a Stream Deck? Unless you're in this world, you won't understand what that is. Or, I made a new thumbnail template in Canva or something. Like, all these things, unless you're kind of in this world, people are going to look at you like, what? And so being around other people that are excited about being a YouTube creator, this group of people, they're so creative and positive, and I definitely think it is a self-selecting group. I think especially nowadays we can get caught up in the slog of it. It's really easy to get jaded and to kind of feel like nothing's working, and things are changing all the time, and now we need to do these new best practices or these trends or whatever. I think the key to being a successful YouTube creator is to always make sure you're having fun. And for the YouTube Huddle Up, this is a way that the process of being a YouTube creator stays fun for me. I also like sharing my wins and goals. I like hearing other people's wins and goals. So it goes both ways, and it's just a really fun group of people to be a part of. So if you want to join or check it out, feel free to pop in on Wednesdays. The other thing that was important to me is that it is free. It is free to join. You can join anytime. You can leave anytime. There's no obligation. There's no contract. There's no commitment. I didn't want to also add the pressure on me for it to be a monetized thing. you know, aside from like YouTube ads. I didn't want to sell a membership. I didn't want to, you know, do a monthly subscription thing. I just, you know, for it to be purely fun for me, where I'm also not trying to grow it because it's income or whatever, it needed to be free. And I stand by that. There are other ways to make money. Now, there are pros and cons with that. I think that when it comes to creating any kind of experience where people are doing some kind of transformation, whether they're learning something or growing something or, you know, whatever it is, I think that you would get more committed people when there is money involved, right? Like, people will hold themselves to a higher level of accountability when they have paid into it. You know, it's kind of like a gym membership. Like, you're probably going to go more often if you're paying for it or whatever. But what's cool is that people are obviously showing up even though they haven't paid for it. So that tells me that, I don't know, the motivation is intrinsic. It is the sense of community. It is the sense, you know, it is the joy of the people that are there that get people to show up every week. And that's special to me. You know, like, I'm proud that we have that. So that is the process of how I run the YouTube Huddle Up every single week. It's so much fun. I plan to continue for as long as I can. And if you are interested in seeing this live stream live, or if you want to join the YouTube Huddle Up scoreboard, check us out every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'd love to have you. And with that said, I will catch you all in the next one. See ya. Bye.